There comes a moment in every soul's journey when the noise of the outer world begins to fade. A hush settles in, not silence, but a sacred pause, and in that pause, a question rises like morning mist from the heart. What if the key to riches was never outside me? Let that question breathe, because this is the true beginning, not when the bank account changes, not when the opportunity comes, but here now, in the still chamber of the soul, where the divine gate waits. You see, there is a doorway within you, not made of wood or gold, but of awareness, of alignment, of inner permission. It is the divine gate of wealth consciousness, and every moment you live outside of it, chasing, forcing, doubting, you wander further from the riches that already belong to you. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Man must prepare for the thing he has asked for when there isn't the slightest sign of it in sight." Why? Because the outer is just a shadow. The real change, the only change must occur in the invisible first. And yet, most people live backwards. They wait for the money to feel rich. They wait for the breakthrough to believe they're worthy. They wait for the world to open the gate, never realizing it was theirs to open all along. Close your eyes for a moment. Visualize this. You stand before an ancient door carved with sacred symbols, glowing faintly with light. This is not imagination. It is your subconscious recognizing the threshold, a place between your old story of lack and your eternal truth of abundance. You reach for the handle, but something trembles in you. Can I really live this way? Can I truly believe before I see? Can I bless the unseen and trust it will form? Yes, because that's the law. Spiritual wealth is not transactional, it's transformational. It doesn't respond to desperation. It responds to divine preparation. Then preparation isn't passive. It's sacred alignment. It's speaking abundance when nothing echoes back. It's dressing for the feast while the table is still bare. It's waking up each day and saying, I walk in wealth consciousness. I pass through the gate. What is mine is already moving toward me. The divine gate doesn't require a key. It requires a knowing, not of the mind, but of the heart. And that knowing begins with surrender. Surrender not to lack, but to the truth that all wealth begins within. Your beliefs, your words, your vibration, they are the architects of your financial reality. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you believe you are allowed to have. So I ask you now, what are you preparing for? Are your thoughts preparing for poverty or prosperity? Are your words constructing limitation or liberation? Are your emotions rehearsing failure or flowing in faith? This is the moment of choice, to stop waiting for signs, and to become the sign. Step into the role of the master builder. Speak as one who owns the land before the foundation is laid. Bless the business before the client appears. Thank the money before it arrives. This is not delusion. This is divine law. Invisible first, visible second. Consciousness always precedes cash. Let's speak it together. I now enter the divine gate of wealth consciousness. I walk in faith, not fear. I prepare without proof. I receive without resistance. I allow wealth to find me, flow through me, and expand around me. It is already done. Let these words echo in the corridors of your mind like a sacred drum. Let them rearrange the atmosphere within. Because once you've stepped through this inner gate, you are no longer the same. You've remembered, you've aligned, you've entered. And as you do, something ancient and divine begins to stir. Not from the outside, but from the throne of your own being. Are you ready now? Ready to stop knocking and start opening? Because wealth is not waiting to find you. It's waiting to flow through you. The gate is open. Step forward. We have stepped through the divine gate. Now, we must understand the law that governs what flows to us once we're inside. There is a sacred rule etched into the blueprint of the universe. It doesn't bend to effort. It doesn't respond to wishing. It only reflects one thing: mental equivalence. Florence Scovel Shinn made it beautifully simple. Man can only receive what he sees himself receiving, not what he begs for, not what he struggles toward, but what he already envisions as his. This is the law of mental equivalence, and it is unbreakable. Your mind is not a mirror. It is a divine projector. It casts your internal images onto the screen of your life. What you live is what you've already accepted in thought. Look around. Everything in your current reality is the echo of a past belief. The bank balance, the opportunities, the challenges, they are the outer imprint of an inner frequency. If your mind carries the blueprint of just enough, you will only attract survival. If your heart holds fear of lack, you will subconsciously push wealth away. But if your soul holds the image of freedom, prosperity becomes your natural reflection. So let me ask you, gently and directly, what do you truly believe you are allowed to have? Not what you want, what you feel safe receiving. Close your eyes. Picture a divine projector inside your consciousness. It hums silently, casting images into form. Whatever film is playing, whether fear or faith, becomes the world you walk through. This is not fantasy. It is law. The universe is not deciding for you. It is responding to you. It is organizing matter to match your inner image. And if that image is conflicted, confused, or limited, your results will echo that confusion. Here lies your power. You can change the film. You can edit the story. You can rewrite the belief. But first, you must become aware. Here is your journaling invitation, a sacred prompt to pull back the curtain. What would someone who is already wealthy think about money? How would they feel about receiving? How would they talk to themselves in times of uncertainty? What would they expect each day? Write it out. Don't filter. Let your current beliefs surface so they can be seen, healed, and transmuted. You are not trying to get rich. You are becoming the consciousness that attracts riches without effort. You are shifting your internal climate to match the harvest you desire. Think of your thoughts as sacred seeds. The mental equivalent is the soil. You cannot plant fear and expect abundance. You cannot sow doubt and expect overflow. But you can begin again. Right now, you can create new images, new frequencies, new truths. Say this with me. I now install new mental equivalents. I think like one who already has. I feel like one who is already free. I speak like one who walks in abundance. I am the image of wealth in form. Feel how different that energy is. It doesn't beg. It doesn't strive. It knows. Your wealth does not exist outside of you. It is already alive in thought, in belief, in vibration. This is why chasing money creates exhaustion. You were never meant to run after what should be magnetized to you. You were meant to become the person to whom wealth naturally flows. Let this be your new focus. Not working harder, but seeing clearer. Not trying to prove your worth, but embodying the truth of your divine inheritance. You are the artist, the image maker, the architect of the unseen. So build something beautiful. Think the thoughts that match your vision. Speak the words that reflect your trust. Align the feelings that say, I am ready, I am worthy, I am already receiving. Let this truth anchor into your being. Mental images precede material riches. Your job is not to force wealth. Your job is to align with the image of wealth, and let divine law handle the rest. Now, as we move forward, we'll explore how your words, those quiet daily declarations, either build bridges to abundance or walls around it. Stay with me. The next doorway opens with your tongue. What if I told you that poverty is not just about money? It's not only the empty wallet or the unpaid bill or the opportunity that never came. Poverty, in its truest form, is energetic. It's a vibration, a hidden frequency planted deep within the soil of the subconscious. Before wealth can stay, the inner garden must be cleansed. The subconscious is your sacred ground. Whatever seeds are buried there will rise. You may not see them at first. You may only see the fruit: struggle, limitation, fear around money. But beneath the surface, beneath the habits and reactions, there is a belief that quietly took root. Maybe it was planted in childhood, when someone said, money doesn't grow on trees, or when you watched your parents argue over lack. Maybe it came from rejection, from feeling unworthy, from being told you must earn everything with pain. Those were not just moments, they were agreements. Agreements your soul never meant to keep. But here you are, awakening in the dark garden, feeling the weight of those old weeds, and now, you are ready to pull them out. You are the divine gardener. You were never meant to live among thorns. You were meant to rise in a field of light. Close your eyes and picture it. A garden, hidden in your subconscious. Some parts are rich and glowing, others tangled with roots of fear, shame, and scarcity. You walk slowly. You feel the ache of what's been buried. You kneel with reverence. You reach down and begin to pull. Each root you remove is a lie you no longer live by. I am not enough. There's never enough. I always struggle. I can't be wealthy and spiritual. And now, one by one you let them go. Feel the air shift. The soil breathes. You plant new truths where lack once lived. Say this aloud as you look into your own eyes. Standing before the mirror of your soul, I now uproot all beliefs of lack and replace them with divine truth. I was never created for struggle. I was born for overflow. I allow abundance to take root within me. This is not just mirror work, it is mirror healing. You are not just affirming, you are rebuilding. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Fear is only inverted faith." So what if you turned your fear around? What if the very energy that once fueled panic now became your prayer? The subconscious will believe what it hears most often. It does not argue, it accepts. So give it new commands, not from force, but from sacred remembrance. I am safe to be wealthy. I am worthy of ease. I am aligned with divine prosperity. Repeat them, not to get rich, but to become whole. This is sacred excavation. You are not just removing what doesn't serve. You are creating space for miracles to take root. As you pull up the weeds, you turn the soil. The dark patches now face the sun. Where there was shame, there is compassion. Where there was fear, there is clarity. Where there was scarcity, there is new space for infinite supply. This process is not always instant, but it is always holy. And with each day, as you speak truth to your reflection, as you rewrite the script whispered inside your heart, you become more of who you really are. Not a beggar, not a chaser, but a receiver of divine good. You are not healing because something is broken. You are healing because the light is returning, the soil is clearing, and the seeds of divine wealth are beginning to bloom. Now, we step further. You've cleansed the roots. The garden is ready. But what waters the seed? In the next step, you will discover the most powerful tool you've always had, your words. Let's walk together into the chamber of the tongue. You planted your desire. You spoke it. You believed it. You even thanked the heavens in advance. But days passed, then weeks, still, nothing, no sign, no shift. And in the stillness, a voice began to rise. Maybe it's not working. Maybe it's not coming. Maybe it wasn't meant for me. Pause. Let single quotes S breathe together now. Close your eyes. Feel your chest rise and fall. Inhale peace. Exhale urgency. Because the truth is, you were never waiting for your desire. It was waiting for your alignment. There is a clock in the heavens, a sacred mechanism that does not tick by human hands. It has no deadlines, no delays, only alignment. You are not being ignored. You are being synchronized. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Infinite spirit is never too late. Not once, not ever. If it hasn't arrived, it's not because you've failed. It's because something greater is being prepared, not just around you, but within you." Picture this. A gardener plants a seed, covers it with soil, waters it with care, and the next morning, he stares at the ground, demanding it bloom, but nothing shows. Does he shout at the soil, dig it up in doubt, walk away in despair, or does he trust the process that he cannot see, the quiet miracle unfolding beneath the surface? You are that gardener, and your desires are not dead. They are buried, growing, gathering strength in the invisible dot. Faith is not waiting, faith is knowing. Faith says, "I do not see it, but it is already mine." When you try to force timing, you interfere with flow. When you obsess over when, you forget the who. And the who is divine. There is an invisible orchestra arranging things on your behalf. People are being moved, doors are being carved, resources are being aligned, not in chaos, but in perfect rhythm with the silent gate of destiny. So how do you surrender to this rhythm? How do you stop fighting the hands of time? You let go like this. Imagine yourself holding a letter, your deepest desire written clearly, honestly, faithfully, and in front of you stands a glowing, sacred mailbox, not made of metal, but light. It hums with divine energy. It does not rust. It does not forget. You place your letter gently inside, not with desperation, but with trust. You step back, and you whisper, "I release this to infinite spirit. I know it is already received. I know the delivery is divine." And you walk away, not to abandon it, but to live in faith. This is the sacred shift, from grasping to allowing, from chasing to resting. You see, the universe is not delaying. It is arranging. And just because you can't see the movement, doesn't mean the miracle isn't in motion. Time does not belong to man. It belongs to spirit. And spirit never misses the moment. Repeat this when the fear creeps in. I am on time. My blessings are on time. Divine timing governs my life. Let those words become your compass. Let them soften the impatience. Let them quiet the doubt. You don't have to control the how. You don't need to chase the when. Your only task is to stay in alignment with the truth that what is yours cannot be lost. There are unseen hands guiding your steps, whispering through delays. There is something better. There is something deeper. Hold on, hold faith, and as you anchor into trust, you free the path, because what flows to you flows best when you stop trying to force it. Open, and start opening yourself to receive. Now, as you rest in this sacred trust, your vibration rises, your soul softens, you align with the energy of certainty, and from this place, you are ready to receive what the divine has always prepared for you. Next, we enter the temple of receptivity, where your energy becomes the magnet, and wealth flows in like breath. Let us walk forward, with peace in your heart, and power in your spirit. It begins with a whisper, a flicker in the mind. What if I don't have enough? What if it all slips away? What if I'm not worthy of it? You've felt it, that sudden tightening in the chest, the sinking in your stomach, as if your future has already been decided by fear. But listen closely now. This is the precise moment where your power begins, not after the fear passes, not once you feel brave, but right here in the presence of that voice. Florence Scovel Shinn revealed a spiritual key, the law of substitution. You cannot think two opposing thoughts at the same time. It is not a rule of logic. It is a law of consciousness. If a thought of lack enters, you don't argue with it. You don't analyze it. You replace it. You reach into your soul and lift a new thought into its place, because a mind filled with light has no room for shadows, and your words, your affirmations, become the switch. When fear says, "What if I don't have enough?" you calmly answer, "God is my instant and constant supply. I live in a universe of overflow. All I need is already within reach." These are not just phrases. They are energetic corrections. They redirect the current. They restore the frequency of your being. You are not fighting fear. You are overriding it. And when it returns, because it will, you simply substitute again. Each time you do, you rewrite the patterns in your mind. You soften the pathways of anxiety. You anchor yourself in divine truth. Here's a sacred practice. Wear a prosperity bracelet or ring, something simple, something intentional. Every time you touch it, pause. Use it as your sacred signal. When a thought of worry rises, gently place your hand on that object and say, "I am provided for. I am supported by unseen streams of good." This creates a new reflex, a spiritual habit of return, a soul's compass that leads you back to trust. And when the heaviness feels too much, when you're too tired to affirm, simply whisper this ancient prayer from Florence. "I cast this burden to the Christ within and go free." Say it softly, say it often, say it until the burden lifts. This is the great secret. You are not meant to carry fear. You are meant to recognize it, replace it, and rise beyond it. You are not alone in this process. The divine meets every substitution with grace. Every time you choose truth over fear, you send a signal into the universe. "I remember who I am," and the universe responds, "I remember you too." So what happens when the old thoughts keep looping? When the fear feels louder than the faith, then you persist. You hold the new thought longer. You speak it out loud. You breathe it into your being. And even if your voice trembles, you speak anyway. Because the more you substitute, the more you rewire. You're not just thinking differently. You're becoming different. This is your daily practice. Catch the fear, name it, and gently replace it with truth. Over time, you'll feel the shift. Where panic once lived, peace will reside. Where light once echoed, abundance will speak. You are not trapped in fear. You are training your mind to remember the divine. Let this section of your journey seal with this affirmation. "I am the keeper of my thoughts. I choose truth over illusion. I choose wealth over worry. I choose the voice of God within me." And now, as your mind begins to reflect heaven's frequency, you're ready to receive. Let us now move into the spiritual state that magnetizes wealth without struggle, not by doing more, but by being more of who you already are. Thought creates the blueprint, but feeling is the builder. It is not the mind alone that manifests. It is the vibration you carry in your body that opens the gate. Feeling is the language of the soul, and true wealth responds only to that language. Florence Scovel Shinn once said, "Faith is feeling, not just belief, not just repetition, but the deep, rich, sacred sensation that what you desire is already yours." You cannot trick the universe with empty affirmations. You must become the frequency of what you seek. Let this truth settle into your spirit. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you feel, because your emotion is not just a reaction, it is a fragrance, and wealth follows fragrance. If you carry the scent of worry, it walks past you. If you embody the essence of abundance, it comes closer, drawn, invited, welcomed. So now, come with me into a sacred moment. Close your eyes. Yes, now. Slow your breath. Inhale peace. Exhale control. Let go of outcomes. Let go of effort. Now, picture this in your mind's eye. You're holding a check for $50,000. Feel the paper in your hands. Cool, crisp, real. You see your name printed. The ink is fresh, the number is clear, and it is yours. Now tell me what rises in you. Is it joy? Is it disbelief? Is it safety? Is it freedom? Where in your body does the feeling live? Is it a warmth in your chest, a tingling in your fingertips, a softening behind your eyes? This is not imagination. This is alignment. Because when you can feel the reality before it physically arrives, you become irresistible to the manifestation. This is how divine magnetism works. It is not about chasing. It is about radiating. So many people think they need to do more, push harder, speak louder. But manifestation is not loud, it is intimate. It happens in the stillness where energy speaks louder than words. Let me offer you this soul compass. Every day, awaken the vibration before the evidence. Before the money comes, feel the ease. Before the opportunity arises, feel the gratitude. Before the door opens, feel the freedom. You are not waiting for wealth. Wealth is waiting for you to become a match for it. And how do you become that match? You activate the sacred feeling on purpose. You curate your emotional frequency as intentionally as you choose your clothes. You use music. You light a candle. You wear something luxurious even if it's small. You close your eyes and walk through the rooms of your future. You sit at the table, your wealth built. You feel the chair. You hear the laughter. You taste the peace, because when your nervous system feels safe with wealth, it stops repelling it. And here's your sacred journaling prompt. What does wealth feel like in my body? Not what does it look like, not what can I buy with it, but what is the feeling of it within my skin, my breath, my soul? Let that question guide you. Let it show you where resistance still lives. Let it teach you how to soften, because here is the holy truth. You are not manifesting money. You are manifesting a version of you who already has it, and that version of you is not stressed. She is not chasing. He is not begging. They are not proving. They are receiving, because they are resonating. So let this be your daily practice. Begin every morning with a 3-minute wealth feeling. Don't think about the bills. Don't solve problems. Just feel abundance like golden light in your body. Let it rise from your belly to your heart. Let it swirl around your shoulders. Let it land behind your eyes as the soft knowing. It's already mine. And from that state, take action. Make decisions. Speak to the world, because now, you are not hoping for wealth. You are living in the vibration of it, and wealth does not resist its own reflection. It finds it, it joins it, it floods toward it. So as we step into the next part of your journey, carry this sacred truth in your breath. Feeling is the bridge, and you were born to cross it. Let's now enter the realm where divine intuition leads your steps, and wealth becomes your natural response to inner clarity. What if the very thing you've been fighting is the thing keeping you from everything you desire? What if the rope you've been pulling with all your strength was never meant to move? We've been taught to push, to fight, to chase, to grip, but spiritual law whispers a deeper truth. What you resist persists, and what you surrender sets you free. This is the law of non-resistance, a divine law that Florence Scovel Shinn called sacred. It teaches us that force creates friction but surrender opens the gate. Resistance is a closed fist, a body tight with fear, a heart armored with control, and in that posture, nothing flows. Picture this. You're standing at the river of abundance. The water is cool, alive, rushing toward you, but your hands are clenched, trying to catch it, trying to hold what cannot be forced. And so it slips through your fingers. Now soften, open your hands, let the water fall into your palms. Now it gathers, now it rests, now it stays, because only the open hand can receive. Resistance is like trying to squeeze water and call it yours, but receiving is allowing water to find you. You are not here to struggle your way into blessings. You are here to relax into divine order. Florence said it simply. I do not resist this situation. I put it in the hands of infinite love and wisdom. This is not defeat. This is sacred trust. You don't need to prove yourself to life. You don't need to manipulate the outcome. You don't need to wrestle your desire into being. Your only task is to become a vessel, clear, soft, open, because not is not passivity. It is spiritual alignment. So many souls cry out, why hasn't it come yet? But they don't see the tension in their jaw, the tightness in their breath, the fear wrapped around every thought. That is resistance. That is a spiritual damn dot. Now, let us shift. Take a deep breath, right now. Feel the air, enter like permission. Let it leave like release. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself holding a tight rope. Your arms ache, your knuckles burn. You keep pulling, but it will not budge. Now loosen your grip. Let the rope fall from your hands. You are no longer attached. You are floating now, carried by the current of trust. Let this image live in your subconscious. Let it remind you that force was never your path. Flow is. Here is your divine affirmation. I flow with divine order. I resist nothing, and all is mine. Repeat it gently, not to force it into being, but to open your body to its truth. And when resistance rises again, as it will, pause, breathe, place your hand over your heart, and say, I surrender this. I release control. I trust the higher wisdom that guides all things. This is the soul's soft revolution, not to conquer, but to dissolve, not to grasp, but to receive. Because when you live in non-resistance, life no longer needs to fight you. It flows through you. It rises to meet you. It answers the call of your stillness. No more begging. No more pleading. No more inner war. Only the calm, knowing that what is yours cannot miss you. So we walk now into the next chamber of truth, where divine timing reveals what your surrender has made room for. You have let go. Now let it come. You are not here to chase wealth. You are here to remember that you already are it. Divine riches are not earned. They are revealed through identity. You do not get abundance. You become the version of you who always had it. The invisible self. The higher self. The wealthy self who was never separate from source. This is not about pretending. It is about returning. Returning to your origin, your divine nature, your spiritual inheritance. Florence Scovel Shinn said, you must act as if you had already received. Because the soul doesn't manifest by waiting. It manifests by becoming. So let us begin. Right now, close your eyes, breathe deeply into your body, and ask yourself, who is the wealthy version of me? Where do they live? How do they walk into a room? What do they believe about money? How do they speak to themselves when no one is listening? How do they give, love, create, see it, feel it, hear the voice of that version of you? Not someday, but now. Because manifestation is not about getting what you want, it is about aligning with who you already are in the spiritual realm. You are stepping into your divine costume, the invisible garment woven from power, peace, and prosperity. And every day, you must wear it in your thoughts, in your posture, in your choices, in the way you sit at your desk, walk down the street, greet a stranger, invest in yourself. You must train your nervous system to feel safe in abundance, to stop flinching at the thought of more, to stop shrinking when life wants to give. Because your self-concept is the gate. Your identity is the magnet. And nothing outside of you can override what you believe yourself to be. The wealthy version of you is already formed in the invisible. Your only task is to merge with them. Right now, place your hand over your heart. Say these words not as a wish, but as a knowing. I am the spiritual identity of wealth. I move with ease. I give with joy. I receive with grace. I am chosen. I am whole. I am abundance. And now, go deeper. Go to your mirror. Stand tall. Look into your own eyes. Let your reflection become your revelation. Say it again. I am the version of me who always had it. My wealth is not coming. It is here. I do not chase. I align. I do not beg. I believe. I do not wait. I become. This is your new reality, and each morning, you must rehearse it. You must wrap yourself in its frequency like a sacred robe, even when it feels unfamiliar, especially then, because identity is not formed by proof. It is formed by decision. You decide that you are it, and the world rearranges itself to match. Walk like the version of you who has already received. Speak like them. Think like them. Give like them. You are no longer asking the world to approve your worth. You are standing in your throne, crowned, not by ego, but by truth. The truth that you are not separate from the source of wealth. You are an expression of it. So let this be your daily ritual. Close your eyes, visualize your wealthy self, feel their breath in your lungs, hear their thoughts as your own. Move with their rhythm, and then step into the day as if you've already crossed the threshold, because you have. Your spiritual wealth has always been waiting, not behind a door, but behind a belief, and now, that belief is yours. You are no longer a seeker. You are the embodiment of overflow, of grace, of sacred prosperity. Let this truth become your home. And as you walk forward, you are not becoming something new. You are becoming what you forgot you already were. Spiritual wealth does not come through occasional effort. It blooms through devotion, daily, deliberate, divine. Your vibration is your invitation. And every day, you are either rehearsing lack or anchoring abundance. This is why you must build a prosperity ritual, a sacred rhythm that tunes your soul to the frequency of increase. Because abundance is not summoned by effort. It is welcomed by alignment. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Bless your current supply, and it will increase." She did not say panic over it. She did not say worry it into expansion. She said bless it, which means to recognize it as sacred and honor it with your attention. Let us now build your daily ritual. It takes only 10 minutes, but creates a lifetime of magnetic flow. Set a sacred space, a quiet corner, a candle, a journal, a breath of peace. Minute 1 and 2. Gratitude. Close your eyes and feel into the blessings that already live in your hands. The roof above you, the food before you, the breath inside you, the small gifts that money could never buy. Speak your gratitude aloud. I bless all that I have. I see it as divine. I honor it with my joy. And I declare it multiplying now. Gratitude is not just a virtue. It is a magnet, a vibrational yes to more. Minute 3 to 5. Speak your affirmations. Words are seeds, and the tongue is the sewer. Each day, you will speak 3 sacred affirmations aloud, not from memory, but from power, with breath, with belief. Say them like truth, not like hope. 1. I am fully supported by the abundant nature of life. 2. Money flows to me in perfect ways and divine timing. 3. Everything I give is returned to me, multiplied and blessed. Let the sound of your voice reprogram your atmosphere. Let every syllable become a spiritual decree. Minutes 6 to 8. Visualize now. Gently close your eyes again. See yourself receiving and giving from overflow. Feel the weight of an unexpected envelope in your hands. Hear the gratitude in someone's voice as you give without fear. Watch the balance in your account grow as your inner resistance fades. Make it vivid. Make it sacred. Not someday, but now. Your subconscious speaks in images, so offer it visions that match your divine inheritance. Minute 9 and 10. Silence it. Still open, no striving, no scripting, just the quiet presence of knowing that all is already forming. Feel the river of abundance running toward you. Feel the invisible support all around. Let your nervous system rest in the peace of provision. This stillness is not passive. It is powerful. It is you making space for miracles. And finally, as you complete the ritual, write, keep a wealth journal by your side, and each day, record even the smallest sign of increase. An unexpected gift, a compliment, a new idea, a coincidence that felt too perfect. Track the sacred breadcrumbs, because the more you acknowledge wealth, the more it reveals itself. Bless every sign, even the pennies, even the kindness, even the silence that felt full. This is not just a ritual. It is a sacred declaration. I am no longer waiting. I am now creating. And as you repeat this practice, day after day, you will find that abundance is no longer something you chase. It is something you carry within you, around you. As you are no longer hoping for change. You are becoming the cause of it. This is the power of consistency in the spiritual realm. Each time you return to this ritual, you are watering the seeds of wealth with faith, clarity, and grace. And the garden will grow, because you are tending it. Let this practice be your anchor. Let it be your offering. Let it be your reminder that wealth is not a finish line. It is a frequency, and you are already tuned in. Let's now go deeper, into the subtle force behind everything you desire, the hidden current beneath manifestation, the secret. Faith, not blind belief, but bold trust. Come with me. Let's breathe into a truth that often gets distorted. Giving is not loss. It is not depletion. It is not subtraction. Giving is circulation. It is divine movement. It is the rhythm of wealth in its highest form. You were not meant to hoard. You were not meant to clutch and grasp. You were designed to flow like a sacred river, pouring into the valley of life, knowing that what leaves your hand returns to your heart multiplied. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Give, and you shall receive. Give your best." She wasn't speaking about performance. She meant energy. Give from faith, not fear. Give with joy, not calculation. Give as one who knows the universe keeps perfect accounts. Because, in truth, the soul that gives is the soul that already has. Let's reframe the fear around giving. You are not draining yourself. You are opening the current. You are clearing the blocked dam and becoming the river. A closed hand cannot receive. A clenched heart cannot be filled. But an open soul is a magnet for miracles. Every act of generosity is not a donation. It is an investment into the divine cycle of abundance. So give. Not out of guilt, not out of pressure, but out of alignment with your true nature, because you are not the reservoir, you are the channel, and when you live like a channel, you will never run dry. Let me speak now to the moments you've given and felt unseen, the times you've poured into others and nothing seemed to come back. Nothing was wasted. Every seed planted has its appointed season. The law of substitution teaches that you never lose what is divinely given. If it does not return through one door, it finds another. So release resentment, release tallying, release the need to be repaid, in your own timing. Trust the divine orchestra. It plays in harmonies you cannot yet hear. Today, begin again. Give not to be noticed, but to become noticeably free. What can you give? Not just money, but presence, a kind word, a sacred pause, a prayer whispered in silence for someone who would never know. That too is divine currency, and it spends well in the kingdom of spirit. Write this down now. One act of intentional generosity you will offer this week. And do it with faith. Not for applause, not for credit, but as a solatrul of wealth. Perhaps it's buying someone a meal. Perhaps it's a message of encouragement. Perhaps it's a moment of patience in a world rushing to be heard. Whatever it is, make it sacred. Make it yours. And then say this with me: what I give returns tenfold, blessed and multiplied. Say it again. Let the words move through you. Not as a chant but as a covenant, because the law of receiving is activated by giving from the vibration of sufficiency. Even if your hands are not full, your heart can be, and from that space you give in partnership with the divine. You're not giving to get. You're giving because you are already full, in ways this world cannot always measure. Remember, when you give with intention, you declare to the universe, I am not in lack, I am in flow. This is not about quantity. It is about quality of spirit, and every soul knows when a gift comes from love. Generosity is the mirror of your faith, not in others, but in life itself. Let yourself be the one who blesses, the one who plants, the one who overflows. Because when you become a giver in the spirit, you live in a field of divine reciprocity, where harvests return in unseen, unstoppable ways. And the beauty, you never know which seed will bloom into your next breakthrough. So, give, with courage, with clarity, with celebration. For you are not emptying yourself, you are expanding. Let that be your rhythm now. Let that be your proof of wealth. Let that be your sacred stance in a world that often forgets that to give is to live close to the divine. And as we move forward, let us now enter the most subtle gate of wealth, where logic fades and pure faith begins. Are you ready? Let's walk together. Take a breath, not just to inhale oxygen, but to receive the moment, to feel how far you've come, to recognize that something in you has shifted. You've walked through inner gates that most never dare to open. You've released the weight of waiting. You've surrendered timelines and old beliefs. You've learned to bless the seen and the unseen. You've spoken the language of power and tuned your soul to the frequency of divine wealth. This is no longer about becoming. This is about remembering. You were never separate from abundance. You were simply asleep to it. But now you rise. Now you know. Now you claim. You are no longer chasing. You are calling. You are no longer hoping. You are knowing. And in this still moment, you no longer need evidence, because your identity has shifted. You are not an outsider to the flow of life. You are the vessel through which it pours. Hear this now with the ears of your soul. You are no longer waiting for wealth. You are aligned with it now. The divine storehouse is not far away. It is within you. It responds to your belief, your words, your vibration. You are not asking for scraps. You are standing in the throne room of infinite supply as its beloved child, its worthy heir. And now, we speak the sacred words aloud, not as a wish, but as a truth made flesh. Breathe deeply. Close your eyes. Feel the light within you expand, and speak this with reverence. I am one with infinite supply. I master my mind, and miracles unfold. I magnetize unlimited riches with ease, grace, and divine certainty. Again, slower. Let each word carve itself into your reality. I am one with infinite supply. I master my mind, and miracles unfold. I magnetize unlimited riches with ease, grace, and divine certainty. Let silence follow. Let the vibrations settle. Let golden light fill the screen, not as a symbol, but as a mirror of your inner state. You are no longer the seeker. You are the source. The shift has occurred, and it is done.